So yesterday, one of my students emailed me said that he couldn't install the Visual Studio. Okay, the thing is Visual Studio is a Microsoft product, which means it can only be run under the Windows system. So if you have Mac, then you really cannot run Visual Studio properly. Okay, so according to my email I sent you guys last night. No, so you have two ways. If you're using a Mac computer, you have two ways to solve. The first way is you go to school and apply to borrow a computer from school. So there's a learning program in RCC. So students can lend a laptop from school, especially at the beginning of semester. There are a bunch of laptops available. So you can go there and fill out a form, and you can get a Windows computer for free. I mean, you're gonna have to return at the end of semester, of course. I think they have hundreds of computers available for people to use. It started from the beginning of pandemic. Okay, so if you have Mac computer, maybe that's a thing you can do. Yeah, just go to school website and try to find the form. Now the other way, if you don't want to run computer from school, or if all the computers gone, I mean, if all the landing laptop are gone, then what you can do is you can install Windows operating system on your Mac. Okay, so there are many videos on YouTube to guide you, because seriously, many students need to use Windows system, but they like to have Apple computer. Okay, so people in computer science, if they really like Apple computer, Mac computer, they always install two operating system in their computer. Okay, if you don't do it right now, you're gonna do it later. Anyway, no matter what, you're gonna have to have. If you really like Apple computer, then you're gonna have to have two operating system on your computer. Now they have, so that's why you have. If you search on YouTube, you're gonna find hundreds, thousands of videos to show you how to do that, because it's very common. It is very common in computer science, because if people really like a Mac computer, then they buy Mac computer. But for a lot of computers programming languages, you're gonna have to run on the Windows. So you're gonna have to have Windows system. So it is not difficult to install. So you can try to find a way. And now, if you really cannot do that, then just get a computer from school, borrow a computer from school. You're gonna have to fill out a form, so they can lend you a computer, but you're gonna have to return that at the end of semester. Okay, so that is one thing. Yes.
Windows for today's class?
Huh?
Do we need the Windows operating system for today's class?
Okay, first of all, so you have Mac computer today?
Yeah.
But do you have a Visual Studio? I mean,
I'm looking to get it right now.
Oh, okay. So if you use a Mac computer, if you have not installed that, which means so probably some of the class content today, you just have to watch what I do, and you can watch a video later today to finish up. Because without the Windows operating system, you cannot use Visual Studio. Okay, then you're gonna have trouble.
Okay.
Okay, but like I said, it's not difficult. If you log in, if you click the link I provide you, you see the many videos. You can see so many videos. Okay, you see how also besides this, you have you can use a different keyword. So install the VirtualBox. Okay, install. See here, VirtualBox in the VirtualBox on Mac. So VirtualBox is like a tool to help you to get the Windows. Okay, so it is very common. Like I said, it is very common to have this issue. Okay, because if you want to learn programming, sooner or later you have that, because the biggest company in the programming is Microsoft. So Not only if you don't have this issue this semester, you're gonna have this issue in the future. So the best way, to do that is to install the dual system. Okay, so you will have both Windows and Mac operating system on your Mac. Okay, of course, actually the best way is just to get a Windows laptop, which is cheaper. But if you already have Mac, then you're gonna have to do this. Okay. So that is one thing we definitely need to have it before next Tuesday class. Okay, before next Tuesday class, we're gonna have this. So this week, this is week 1. So this week 1, we'll just wait to to have textbook. Okay, like I said on this Tuesday. So within this semester, we are going to cover from chapter 2 to chapter 7. Okay, so the content is from chapter 2 to chapter 7. So you see, chapter 1 is not included. So it's like a basic introduction. Okay, then on next Tuesday, hopefully, okay, not hopefully, you should get this book, because if you order Sunday, or even if you order this Tuesday, you should have the book by next Tuesday. Okay, because Amazon won't be like taking like a week or so. So you get it, okay? So even if you don't have textbook, you can just follow me to do that, to do this. But no matter what, sometime next week, you should have a textbook. So we can start our real work. Okay, so today's class, we're going to have 2 parts of today's class. The first part is I'm going to use like 30 minutes or 40 minutes to go over the chapter 1 PowerPoint. Okay, but in the future, probably, we don't really go over PowerPoint. We just do the hands-on work. Okay, just this week is special because we don't have the book yet. I mean, you don't have the book yet. Okay, so we just go over PowerPoint quickly, and then we're gonna use the rest of time to do our first sample project. Okay, and also again, so all the course content is under the module 1. So under module 1, there's some videos, and also here, this is our last class video. Okay, so if you want, you can watch this video to get some better idea. So if you miss Tuesday's class, then you can just watch this video to get idea. Okay, so that's the good thing about remote learning. So we can always post the video online. So for people who miss class, to watch it. So again, if you have any question regarding to syllabus, so probably you should watch the videos. And also you can ask me right now. I'm going to start the chapter 1 PowerPoint. Okay. So we're going to spend like maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes, like maybe till 11:45. We're going to stop, and then we're going to start our sample project to show you how to do our real work. Because if you try to learn programming, the best way is to do the hands-on work. So you learn how to do coding by doing the coding. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so let's go over the chapter 1. Okay, so we're still learning the Visual Basic 2017 because the new book haven't come out yet. So, I'm waiting and trying to get the new textbook, but they don't have it. So maybe hopefully next year they will have a Visual Basic 2019. But no matter how change, from Visual Studio 2012, Visual Studio 2010, 2013, 2017, exact same. Okay, if you know how to do the project by using Visual Basic 2017, you will have no issue to do the project in 2019 version. Okay, so they all basically it's the fundamental stuff the same. Just like Microsoft Office. We have Office 2010, 2013, 2017, 2019. It's change, right? But no matter what, the fundamental stuff is same. Okay, the only thing different is like maybe the 10% of format part. Okay, so if you learn the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, every time they have a new version come out, the only thing change is like that 10% of formatting part. It make it like more fancier, more user friendly. But if you know the core content, you will have no issue. Okay, you will be, smoothly transferred to any version of Visual Basic, Visual Studio, or Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay, and also, now Visual Basic is a very good introductory programming. Okay, because what you do is, if you try to run a project, the first step is always design a GUI, a graphic interface. After you design the graphic interface, then you do the coding, then you run it. So it's always 3 steps. Okay. For other programming languages, then sometimes you don't need to have the interface at all. So probably it will be kind of difficult to understand a little bit. So we use Visual Basic as the first programming language in computer study, because you can see, in front of you, like user interface, how it works. Okay. Now, even though it is a relatively easy language, but it's still very useful. Okay. Till now, at this point, there are still many big companies. They are using Visual Basic to manage their database, to manage the whole system. Like, I have friends who work for a big car company, like a Hyundai, Korean company. They have headquarters in North America. So they use Visual Basic and to manage their whole database. And also, another friend of mine who work for like healthcare, like system, like they have big, like hospital healthcare system. They also use Visual Basic. So if you're really good at the Visual Basic, now you don't have to worry about find a job or not, because there are many jobs available over there. Okay, let's start with it. So this one, chapter 1, this introductory of the whole thing together. Okay, so you can see chapter 1, we understand software, computer programs, say the role of developer to create a computer. The programmer, we can sometimes call developers, right? To write computer programs. All the programs, all the apps on your cell phone is written by maybe a team of developers, right? And we specify the use of user interface and describe an event-driven program. So you can see the first one we do will be the simple calculator program, right? You design the interface, then this is to do the calculation, event-driven. You're gonna do the calculation. And also for chapter 2 and chapter 3, we do the latte selection. Okay, so you want to select from the 2 images. One is pumpkin spice, the other one is just the latte, right? You select which one you choose. And also you specify rules input and process output. So basically, if you have a computer, all the computer will do 3 things: input, process, output. So the fundamental definition of computer is an electronic device which can do input, process, output. Okay, first of all, it's an electronic device. Without power, it cannot do anything. Second, it will do input, process, output. The 3 steps of a computer. Okay, you use your input device to do the input, then you process, then you will have some result displayed. So output is some result. Okay, and we're gonna have data to, sometimes you need data to run the programs. Like maybe you type, like if you go to the go to the supermarket, you want to buy something, right? How much you want to pay, how much you need to pay, and how much they have to give you back. If you go to the cashier of the ShopRite, right? You scan all these items on your basket or your card. Okay, those items of data need to be processed. After you process data, the computer will give you a result, like how much you need to pay this time, right? And they will, display the result on the screen and display the result on the receipt. So all the receipt you have, actually different output. Okay, so in every day of our life, we will, handle something with this. Okay, like buy stuff, grocery from the supermarket, right? Like all the items, they are data inputs. Okay, then we process and we have result as output, which we call them information. And also think about like a weather forecast. Every day we want to see the weather forecast, right? You want to know like whether the weather is nice or not. Today is sunny day. So, but how do we know the next few days? Because in this morning I checked out the news. They said like they're gonna have winter storm coming this weekend. How do they know? How do they know there's a winter storm coming? Right? Because they collect data. They have like almost every area. They have some equipment to collect data in the air. So they will process, after they collect data, they will process, then they predict what will happen in the next few days. So after they process the data they collected, they get a conclusion. So there will be a winter storm this weekend. So this calculation, computation, we handle every single day. Okay. The logical operation, like a comparison, right? We do that all the time, or even beside comparison. In the future, if I write down a selection statement, yes, wait a second. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter. I'm sorry. I hope you can, drink some warm water and have some rest later. Okay. And by the way, I received your homework, which is very good. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry about being late again.
Don't worry about it. Okay, I understand. This maybe you didn't eat something good. You eat something bad for the stomach issue. Just drink some water. You need the water and have good rest.
Yeah, I've got a cup of tea next to me.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. So we have. So this is some content in the chapter 1. Okay. So we're gonna understand. This one is define, describe, use a database. So you use database all the time. Like, if you go to a hospital, right? Even if you visit your doctor, right? Every doctor office, they have the database, have all the patients' record, like at which day, what kind of shot you have, right? Maybe you get like a vaccine shot, different vaccine shot, and at which day you have the annual check, something like that. So they have database for the doctor's office. And also if you try to manage a company, like ShopRite, okay, then they will say like for each item, how many of this is in the warehouse, right? And also if you try to if you have a pizza restaurant, right, you're gonna have a database to see how many items in your warehouse, in your kitchen, and how many orders they make every single day, right? They're gonna record everything. So database also is kind of like in our everyday life also. Okay. So we identify the use of computer programming language in general, and also Visual Basic 2017 in particular. So when we do our hands-on work today, you will have a better idea. Okay. So explain the use of Visual Studio 2017. So still, inside of Visual Studio 2017, we have Visual Basic and we have Visual with C++. So we can. This is a good, code environment, running environment for a lot of language. Like even Python, you can run Python in Visual Studio. You can run C++ in Visual Studio. You can even run assembly language in Visual Studio. So it is a very powerful tool. But if you try to download a complete package, it will occupy at least 5 gig or maybe 10 gig. Okay, because I have almost, I think I have a complete section of a version of Windows Studio. Visual Studio is occupied, I think, like a 15 gig. something, which is huge. So my desk, my computer's desk always full. Always give me warning message that like it's full, it's full. Even last night it told me it's full. So right after this class, I'm gonna restart my computer. Hopefully, it can clean up some space for me. Now specify the program language available for use. So you can use you can use C++, you can use Python, you can use assembly language. You can do that. So it is a powerful tool. That is why I said, if you study computer science, if you want to be a computer programmer, then now you should have Windows system in handy. Okay. So, for me, because seriously, when I just come here, I don't have much money. So that's why I stick with Windows, because Windows computer is very cheap, right? So I never have an Apple computer in my life. So this is necessary. Windows system is necessary. But if you don't worry about money, if you like Apple computer, then you're gonna have to have dual system. So my nephew, now he's studying computer science in Rutgers. So he has a Mac computer. So the first thing he do when he come here from China is to install the dual system. So he can have both Windows system and the Mac system, because for a programmer you do need that, because we use Visual Studio all the time. Okay, especially if you try to find a job, these days it's very easy to find a job if you're a computer programmer, and most of companies they use Visual Studio. Okay, that's true. Okay, so we have this. Let's start. Okay, introduction. So if you have learned CSP 101 before, so this content will be like you probably have heard or learned from 101 already. So first of all, what is computer software? Okay, a set of instructions that direct computer to perform a task is called computer software, a computer program. So you can see here, computer software. So this software, this word is from hardware. Okay, so hundreds of years ago, before before we have the computer, we don't have this word software. So after they invented the computer, they kind of invented software keyword, because what is software? Something you cannot touch. So what is hardware? Hardware, this word is always there, has been like in this English for hundreds of years. So something we can touch, we can say is hardware. Then after we invent computer, we know all these instructions, all this data in the computer, which tell the computer what to do. We cannot touch, it's untouchable. So they kind of like invent software as opposite of the hardware. So hardware is something you can touch. So on the computer, for anything you can touch, the hardware, like the mouse, the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, everything. Even if you take off the computer, your laptop, you see the CPU, all of them can touch. So they are hardwares. But for the instructions, for the programs in the computer, for the software, or for these apps, you cannot touch, right? You really cannot touch. Like can you touch Facebook, right? Can you touch, all this, Walmart app? You really cannot touch it, right? I mean, you really cannot touch all this command. So that's called computer software. So if we want to do something, we're gonna have to run those instructions, right? So a computer program on the mobile app is called the mobile device called app, like your cell phone. Okay, I think everybody's cell phone have tons of apps. My cell phone have a lot of apps, like Facebook, Instagram, all of them. So computer hardware is the physical equipment associated with computer. So here you can give you an idea. So let me see, can I make it bigger or not? Slideshow. Because the things I want to make it bigger, but I want you guys can see the screen. Okay, let me see. Do I have? Okay. So everybody here, turn off your camera. Okay. Like I said, you know, you cannot hide from me because we're gonna see each other after after February 5th. Thank you, Peter. So let's see. Introduction. So I'm gonna introduction. So we have this hardware keyboard. So anything you if you can touch, so that's part of hardware, like you know, mobile device, wearable device, RAM. So anything you can touch is hardwares. Now the basic function of many program is to, you know, not only programs like basic computer. If this device can do these three things, we call them as computer, like your regular desktop, laptop, your server, and also your cell phone, and your, you know, whatever, like a scanner, not scanner probably not. GPS. Now, if you still use GPS, right? Because these days, I think everybody uses your cell phone to use Google Map something, but you still have some people use GPS. So as long as this mobile device can do these three things, we call them as computer. So these three things: input, process, output. See, the basic function of many program is to accept some form of data. So we call this as input data. Then we manipulate data in some manner. So process, okay, processing data, and then we create some form. So it's output information. Okay, so think about now, if I want browse some website, so what I do? I use my mouse to click, you know, the Chrome, right? I use my mouse to click a Chrome. So this is what I have. So I click new window, right? Then I can type the website. So I can say CNN.com. If I want to watch read some news, I type CNN.com. Then the browser will accept the data. What data I typed CNN.com. This is data. It accepts data. In the process, just connect to this CNN.com's web server. Then it will display the result. What is the result? The CNN.com's website. Okay, so give you some news. So that is the idea. Okay, so many apps, all the apps will do the same thing. Even, you know, computer do these three things: input, process, output, right? The browser do that. And also if you play the video games, right, you might always do that: input, process, output. Okay, so in the computer we have some devices inside, some hardwares inside of our computer. The first one is called RAM. Okay, random access memory. Okay, the program and data must be placed in the computer's RAM. Okay, so now if we draw a picture now how the computer works, then the RAM should be in the center. Okay, the RAM should be in the center. I mean, like if we draw a graph to show how the computer process or how the computer works, then the RAM should be in the center. Because if I do the input, I input some data and the instruction, we go to the RAM first. Then the RAM will pass to the CPU. Then after CPU process, CPU will put the result back to the RAM first. Then RAM will pass to the output. So RAM is like in the middle, easily in the center. Okay, very important. So you know, if your computer don't have enough space, I mean enough RAM, you're gonna see it's always slow, right? You know, 10 years ago, if we have 4 gig memory, it will be already very fast. Now it is very common to have 8 gig, 16 gig. Okay, sometimes your computer will have 32 gig. Okay, if you want to pay extra money, you're gonna have 32 gig. Okay, so because you know, no matter the input data or output data, you're gonna go to the RAM first. Okay, of course, the bigger the better, right? Now the next one is CPU. Okay, like the brain of computer. Okay, it process the instruction and data. So the CPU will process the data based on the instruction the program tells them. Okay, so this is the CPU. Okay, this is the brain. So you're gonna have to, as you know, if we have powerful CPU, and your computer also will be fast. Okay. Now, besides this CPU and the RAM, and we're gonna have something to store data. So in order to store our data, we need to have the storing device. See, 3 of them. You can store your data in the hard disk, USB drive, or the cloud. Okay. Persistent data remain available even after computer power is turned off. So why do they say so? What does this mean? Because if you do not save all your data in the hard drive or USB drive or cloud, if you think like everything stored in the RAM, but the thing is, if you turn off your computer or if you accidentally lost power, then everything in your RAM will be gone. So you can see this might happen in your life maybe once or twice. Sometimes you type a document, maybe homework on Word, but somehow you mistakenly lost power. I mean, press a button, or you mistakenly discharge your computer. So what happened is you lost this, you lost this whatever you just type. Okay, even when you turn on the computer again, whatever you write, you cannot find. You have to type it again. Okay, I think it's very normal. You know, it always happens, right? It's always. Sometimes happen to me. I know probably it's happened to you guys also. Okay, because if you do not save on your computer, if you haven't have a chance to save on your computer, but sometimes some accident happened, you lost power or whatever reason, so everything's gone. Okay, so if you want to save something, even after power turn off, then you better save on the hard disk or USB drive. So that is why every time if I run do a PowerPoint, if I run a code, I'll always like press save button, just in case something wrong. Okay, I still can have partial result come back, right? Otherwise, you're gonna lose everything. So the saving, and now here, this is the introduction of your code, what it look like. So we're gonna do that. I will show you. I think let me show you one of the work. So I do have some project can show you. Okay, let me see. Lattice selection. So first 2 chapter 2 and chapter 3, they are lattice selections. So I'm gonna open the file to let you see that. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, so we have that. So this is a lattice selection. It will be due in 3 weeks. So you don't worry. Okay, so at this point, if you don't have it, that's fine. So this is lattice selection. First of all, you design. This is after chapter 2. Okay, for the chapter 2, you only design interface. You don't have a code inside. So if I double click, see, it's empty. Basic is empty because the coding, you will learn that in chapter 3. But chapter 2 just to give you this graph. Okay, so this one. Okay, you design the user interface. Then, if you finish that, you click if you double click, if you finish chapter 3, if you double click this, it will show you the code associated with it. Okay, so it will be something like this. It will be something like this. So basically, for each item in your user interface, they have a bunch of properties you can manipulate. Like you see here, enable equal to false, or dot visible equal to false. If I make some items visible equal to false, which means you cannot see from the screen, so it cannot disappear. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, give me another 10 minutes. We'll finish that. We can do the hands-on work. So you're gonna read whatever left at home, because chapter 1 is just the introductions. So okay, so computer programs and the developers. A computer program, as you can see, is a design and developed by people known as computer programmers or software engineers. So they have many names for programmer, right? It can be called computer programmers, can be developers, or can be software engineers. So if you search, sometimes called software scientist. Okay, it has so many names. It's a job. So if you search online, if I search online, developer salary. Now, if you search online developer salary, now you can see here. Now, the salary is entry level salary. It depends on your location. As you can see here, social software developer depends on your how many experience you have. Okay, and this one has up to 215K a year. This one has more. Okay, here for the Jersey City is very close to us. It's 100,000 a year. So it's very common. So you can see here the salary of that is very good. Okay, so it is always good to be a programmer. But I have heard that even some nurse, some doctors, they try to change their career to be a programmer, because if you are really good at programming and if you move to San Francisco Bay Area, your salary can be half million a year. But I do know a couple of my friends, their salary is like $500,000 a year. Yeah, not my friends, my sister's friend. They are older than me. Okay. But you get the idea. Okay, so some people say like for the programmer, if you're older, if you're like over 60 or 50, it's hard for you to find a job. It's not true. Okay, it's not true. So as long as you have experience, you will have a very decent salary. So computer programmer, developers are people with skills in design computer programs, creating them by using the language. So if you go to like LinkedIn or this tons of website to try to find a job, you're gonna see for almost all the programming languages, they need people. Like if you're good at Java, you can find a job. If you're good at C++, of course you can find a job. Especially for C++, it's like a design a video game. Okay, if you play video games, a lot of video games designed by C++ on the operating system or C++, with Java and the Python on the Visual Basic. Okay, now even though Visual Basic is relatively easy, but it's still widely used. It's still widely used. Application may consist of several programmers work together to solve problem. Okay, like application is like an app. Okay, generally speaking, if you want to shop online, like Target, Walmart, they have different apps, right? Application software. So wait a second. The developers create a program by writing its code using the program language. Okay. So this is one of this. Okay, next page. Visual Basic 2017 is an event-driven program. Okay, it communicates with users through the graphics interface. So if you want to design a Visual Basic project, you start with the GUI first, user interface first. You design user interface, then you write code, okay, corresponding to each button on your user interface. Okay, so you can see here the GUI usually consists of a window, contain a variety of objects. We're gonna see later. Okay, an event means the user has to initiate an action that cause program to perform a type of processing in response to that action. So like the calculator program. So you want to have a calculator. Or the first project we do latte selection, or the VR selection, or later on your bike rental, how much money you want to pay for each. For every day the bike rental price is fixed, but how many days you type, and in the future, if you want, you can use the Visual Basic to design a system for a hotel, right? Like for example, you can have multiple choices. What kind of room a person want to choose? So let the person choose the room from the first interface. Then after this, choose the type. Then they will choose like how many days right? Then based on how many days, you can calculate how much they should pay, right? And also you can put like tons of service for your hotel system. Okay, so it is very good. You know, for Visual Basic, you can use, you can write many projects towards many different topics, like the hotel, hospital, like cleaning service. You think about so many use. So that's one thing. And in the end of semester, you should design a final project. Okay, which I do provide, I think 3 topics for you to choose. But my suggestion is always, if you pick up something of your own idea, I'll give you actual points. So this is event driven as what do you say? Bank. Okay, account balance, account number, and display, refresh. So this one can be done if you want to do this question. It is very easy to handle. Okay, because we have different comment to do that. Okay, so we import data. So you type data inside, that's input. The fundamental operation in most computer programs involve user to enter data. Then, like see, you type data in this text box. So this black, it's not black. This blank white box is called the text box. It's waiting for us to get input. So after we get input, then it will process and show you the result. So this is the output here. Okay, so output operation. So input, process, output. Okay, you click the button here, display bank balance, or you want to refresh. So based on the button you click, it will show you the result. Okay, so this is like a basic Visual Basic program, an easy program. Okay. The next one, you can see this is the operation. You can see that on your screen. You can even print out from a printer result. Okay, now we do have some basic arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, like in the calculator. If you have time after last 2 class, you probably took a look at the simple calculator program. So you see we have arithmetic operations, and we do have a logic operation like compare. Okay, compare whether which one is bigger, which one is smaller. Comparison, logic operation. And for the logic operation, we can combine a different logic condition together. Like if today's weather is nice, and if I have more than $5, then I will probably buy a bottle of drink, something like that. So this is like a logic operations. You can combine multiple logic operations together to perform some task. Okay, this is very common in programming. Okay, then we can save it. After we done that, we can save it. So actually, no matter what high level language you use, okay, maybe C, Java, Python, you always will have same idea. Okay, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and you will do comparison, larger than, less than, larger equal to, less equal to, and operation, not operation, and all operation, all of them. All the high level language will contain this. Okay, and also we always will save our work. Okay, we're gonna save all of them together. Then for all higher level language, they always have syntax. Okay, like VB have its own syntax, C++ has its own syntax, and Java has its own syntax. Okay, so all the high level languages, they have their own syntax. Like in Java, I have to finish every sentence with semicolon, but in VB, you do not need to use semicolon. Okay, so that is one idea. Okay, so we're gonna have to make sure that we follow the rules. So there's no syntax error. Okay, make sure our program do not have syntax error. But even without syntax error, our program might not be always correct. Why? Because it might have logic error. Okay, it is very common to have logic error. Okay, so we're gonna have to be careful. Later on, we're gonna learn how to fix our program. You know, if I run my code, if something wrong, it might be syntax error, it might be logic error. Okay, most developers use a tool called Visual Studio 2017 to write the Visual Basic program, and this called the Integrated Development Environment (IDE). Okay, the IDE not only for Visual Basic but also for tons of high-level language. Okay, so we are going to. I'm going to stop at here. So let's do the coding. Okay, let's do the coding. So as you know, I have posted some PDF files for you to follow. So at the end of this week, actually at the end of the next week, you're gonna have to submit the sample project to me. Okay, I think it's due on February 5th. So by February 5th, what is when is February 5th? Next Sunday. Huh? Okay, I have to check my calendar here. Wait, next Saturday. Okay, next Saturday is February 5th. So by next Saturday, you're gonna have to give me the sample project. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, and maybe you can answer some questions. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the studio. I'm gonna close the window. So right now, you click the start menu on the bottom, on your bottom left, right? Click this window and you go through Visual Studio. Okay, you can open that. Okay, you can start with V. So you know all these programs, they are alphabetic order. So you search on the Visual Studio. I have Visual Studio 2017. Now I open that. So right now I have this one. So this is the screen I have. So I'm gonna give you a minute. You can open the Visual Studio on your computer. Okay. Now again, so if you don't have Windows system, your Visual Studio will not be able to run. So you're gonna have to have Windows system first. Okay. So try to figure out to have Windows system by next Tuesday. Okay. Next Tuesday, you definitely need it. Okay, don't wait. Don't wait. So this class is like a quite easy class. Okay, but you really have to use the Windows system. You need to have Windows system. But I remember one of my students in the last year who didn't have the Windows computer, Mac computer, and who does not want to do anything about it. So in the end, he couldn't give me any homework. So I have to give him an F. So this is an easy class, but you really have to do your work. Okay. So you really need a Windows operating system. Okay. There's no kidding. So we have that. So this is my interface of my Visual Studio. Okay, I'll give you a minute to get it. Now, once you have this screen, now you have two ways to have your project. Okay, you have two ways to do that. Now, the first way is here, right here. You see, new project. Okay, you can click new project. Okay, because I already have something. I use this VB before because so it has some kind of like a recent project template. If you have never used VB before, you click new project. You can have create new project. It will pop up your window, something like that. Okay, so you pop up that. Can you see my screen? Can you see my pop-up window here? Right here. Then after you have this new project come out, on the left side, see here, installed. What package did I install in my Visual Studio? Now, if you make it like 2019, that's fine. Okay, so basically, fundamental stuff is the same. So even if you install Visual Studio 2019 is same. Okay, don't worry about it. It's still the same. Okay, if you have Visual Studio 2019, that's the same. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna install Windows 19. I'm gonna upgrade to the 2019 later. So by Tuesday, I want to have a 2019 also. So no difference. Okay, let's see. Let me try this. Let me try the content. So you go to the content. So you download so in the Visual Studio 2019, and if you click this, did you click this button? Visual Studio 2017 Community Edition. Right here, this one. So you click new free community edition here. I hate this. What is this? So it will have this. Okay. So you can start download right here. So let me give you a link right here. Okay. Visual Studio 2017. Okay, download free community edition. Okay. So even if you have 2019, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Okay. Then exact same. Even if I have Visual Studio 2010, it's still the same. Okay. No big difference. Okay. So you will still see this. You will still see this. Okay. So you will still see some interface like that. So you click new project, click create new project. Okay. So it give you this window to choose. Okay. So hopefully can you see my new window right here, new project window? Okay. So now if you have create new project, you have this window open. Now you should make sure you have Visual Basic package. Now if you cannot find a Visual Basic package, now you're gonna have to click other project type, okay, to maybe install that. But most likely all the Visual Studio will contain the Visual Basic. Then you click Windows Form app, the second one. Okay, so I'm not going to type anything here right now because I want to show you the most common way to create new project. Okay, so this is the first way. Okay, this is the first way. Now, if you cannot see the new project in the center, don't worry. Okay, traditionally, no matter what version your Visual Studio have, okay, no matter what version you have, you can always go to the top. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, you can always go to the left top, click File. Okay, you can always click File on the left top and click New button, click Project. Okay, no matter what edition of your Visual Studio you have, you can always do this. This is a traditional way. Okay, in the past 20 years, this is always work. Okay, click that on the top File, New, Project, or you can do Control Shift M. Now either way, this is more traditional way. You click that, it will pop this new project window again. So either way, you should have something like mine. Can you see my screen? I'm not sure you can see this pop-up new project or not. Okay, so you can see that. Now on the left part, you can see on the left part, it shows you what kind of package you install. For me, because I teach C++, so I have Visual C++ right here. But and also Visual Basic, you can have other choices. Okay, if you couldn't find Visual Basic, then you do this. Okay, not finding what you're looking for, open the Visual Studio installer. So you can install all of them, but it will take you, I don't know, at least 10 gig. At least 10 gig in your computer. Okay, so this is what you have. Make sure you have Visual Basic right here. Okay, when you have this one, you click Windows Desktop. Okay, what's question? Kevin, what's question?
Yeah, I was just question. You're recording this, right? So you're gonna post this online and everything?
Yes. But do you have questions? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it right now, but just in case I want to go back or forget something, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Do you have Windows system on your computer?
Yeah, I have a MacBook, but I have like a boot camp or whatever, and I have Windows on there.
Oh, great. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you have any question, just ask me. I hope you guys can know how to create projects. So next time when we have our real class, so you won't have any trouble to do the lattice selection with me. So if you have any question, just ask me, okay, today. So we can solve this, the basics, the first step. What's wrong with it? Okay. Okay. Now, so you can see my screen. Once I click new project, I have, well, again, I'm going to show you one more time. This traditional way to have new project is on the top right, top left, click file, click new, click project. Okay, it will pop up this window. Now on this window, you should make sure you have Visual Basic right here. Okay, so those are the package for different language for your Visual Studio. Okay, if you cannot find your Visual Studio, Visual Basic right here, Visual Basic here, you have to click Open Visual Studio Installer to help you to, install something. So if I click that, oh, I'm not going to do that because it's give me like warning message said, do you want to go through that? So you will make sure you install that. Once you install Visual Basic, once you see this one here, you choose Windows Desktop. And in the center, you choose Windows Form App, the .NET framework, okay? Then you can type the name of your file. The first one called what? Simple Calculator, right? What's the name of that? I just couldn't remember. I just called it Simple Calculator. But you know what? You just follow the PDF file, choose maybe the more accurate name. So Simple Calculator. Okay. So each project has its project name, right? Here's the one thing I need to tell you, very important. Okay, the location part. Now this location is very important. As you can see here, this is the location of my project. Okay, again, please pay attention because you need to know the location so we can zip the whole file. So later on, you can give me the zip files as a homework because for the past several years, I do have students have difficult time to submit homework because they don't know how to zip the whole package. But how do you know where is your package? Where's your whole folder? Right here in your location. But if you don't know where it is, then what you can do is you find maybe, create a folder for CSP 150, 125 and choose that. So I think I have a Spring 2022 here. So you can create a new folder. I'm going to name as CSP 125. Okay. So I can select this one as folder. Okay. So you see that will be my name, the name of my folder path. Okay. So later on, after I finish Simple Calculator, I will go to that folder and I will find this folder and I'm going to unzip the whole folder as a zip file. Okay, you cannot just give me a .sln file. If you give me that, I cannot open. Okay, you have to zip the whole folder and give to me. I'll show you here. So in this new project, you provide the name and you know the location. Now, if you don't want to change the location, that's fine. But you're gonna have to know where did you save it. So this is a place you know. Okay, this is a place you know. Okay, but by default, the location is this. Okay, like source.repos. As long as you use a Windows system, the default one is /source/repos. Okay, no matter it's my computer or your computer, as long as you use a Windows system, your default location, if you don't change anything, that will be the your username, then source/repos. REPS. It is very, very, very important because if you don't know where it is, now you're gonna have a very difficult time to submit your homework. Okay, that is why I have to spend quite a few minutes to tell about this. After you have the selection, the location, you know where is it. Okay, you know where it is. So later on you can go there. So I'm gonna click OK. So it will initialize everything, take a minute to synchronize everything, and you will have a screen look like this. Also, if I want to go to my, my desktop, okay, because I did save my desktop on my desktop, right? Save on the Spring 2022, I save on here, and I do see here. So this is my simple calculator folder. After I finish, also after you finish, how do you give me homework? You're gonna have to right click your mouse, and there's a button called the zip, this whole thing. Where is it? Okay, so I think you probably need some software to zip it. Okay, but you're gonna have to, I think it's pin to, where is it? Restore, combine, include library, a picture. So scan, pin to, start, send to. Okay, send to, you can just send to. Okay, you don't have to install any WinZip or whatever. Just click send to and compress it. Okay, you're gonna have to compress the whole folder. Okay, go to the location, you find this file. Okay, see, I save under the CSV125 folder. So you can see this is one whole thing. Then you're gonna do this. Okay, but if you click inside, they do have this. So which means if I unzip on my side, and when I open my unzip file, I should have something like this. No, you cannot. If you copy and paste, it will not work. You can, for Joseph, you can just leave like that. Okay, you don't have to change anything. Okay. So this is it. Okay, you cannot copy and paste. So the only way to make sure it goes well in the Blackboard is you zip the whole folder. Okay, you zip the whole folder. You're gonna have to find where it is, because many times, no matter it's a face-to-face baby class or online face-to-face class, or sorry, online Zoom class or fully online class, quite a few people have very hard time to submit homework. Okay, even though although they finish their homework, but they couldn't submit. Why? Because they only give me the .SL part. That is not enough. You're gonna have to give me the whole package. You're gonna have to zip the whole package. See, send to, compress the folder. Okay, that's one thing. So back to here. Any question? Okay. If you use Visual Basic 2017-19, don't worry. Okay, you can still give it to me. Still be fine. Okay, still be fine. I think Peter, you're doing the 2019.
Yeah, when I went to the TechSpot link, it had done the same thing to me that it did to everybody else.
Yes, just so your homework is good. So you see, no matter which one you use, 2019, 2017, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you give me a zip file, including the whole thing, I can see, I can open. Okay. Okay, so let's come to the real stuff. So we have this simple calculator, which is actually a blank document, right? Now in this blank document, we have 3 sections here, blank screen. We have 3 sections. On the left, we have 2 boxes. So this 2 boxes is helping us to have interface. Okay, we have different 2 boxes, different tools we can use. We can have button. Later on in the future, we'll use the checkbox. We'll use the checklist box. So in the future, for the maybe chapter 4, the bike rental, you're gonna use more tools. For this simple calculators, we just need to have 3 tools. label, text box, and a button. Okay, so there's tons of toolbox right here. And in the center, that is our problem part. Okay, right now it's a form 1. This is a by default, we have a form 1. And on the right, so right now it's empty. I didn't do anything yet. So on the right, we have solution explore. Okay, if you try to create a project under Visual Studio, no matter what language you use, Python, C++, they always have the solution explore. Okay, so in this one, simple calculator, I have form1.vb. It's like by default, it's form1.vb. Now in the future, you can change the name. So later on, we can rename it. Okay, okay. If you want, you can rename it. Give it a different name, like a calculator. Did you see what I do? Maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna redo it. Okay, I hope you guys see that. Okay. Now, did you see what I do? You can just right-click your mouse and click rename. Okay, so you can rename your VB file. Okay, so in the future, you do need to rename your VB file because by default, it's always form 1 to form 2, form 3. Okay, you can change the name as you know, whatever necessary, like towards your project. So I change to calculator.vb. So for your sample project, if you don't want to change the name, that's fine. No, so we change the name here. So this is form 1. For each form, for each tool, we have tons of property associated with it. So if I look at this right button half, now you're gonna see properties. This calculate form. We have, see here, you move down, you see we have accessibilities, appearance, how it appears. We can change the back color, control, you can change different color if you want. See, we can change different color. See, I can change different color, whatever color I want. Red, I can change what gray, whatever color you want. Okay. No, I don't have to change anything. So if you don't want to change anything, you leave it something, whatever you want. Okay. Okay, so you can change everything. Here, actually, later on, you're gonna have, see here, you can customize. You can have web design. You can have, what do you say? Okay, system. Okay. So I just make it like this color. Okay, but you can change any color. And you can have background image, so which means you can add images later. Okay, you can have images, but you're gonna have to upload to here and to have to do that. Now we're gonna have to use this, I think on chapter 4, on the bike project, you can upload an image on your background image. This reminds me one thing. Okay, I want to have to warn you again. Like an old lady, I have to warn you again. Before next Tuesday, please download the data files. Okay, you do need data files to do your work. So you can find the data files on your Blackboard here, right here. Okay, please download data files because without these data files, you will not have images. Okay, so if you have the data files, your data file should look like where is this? Right here. Like in chapter 3, you have all these images. Okay, chapter 4, you have all these images. So you're gonna have to use this. So please download those data files. Okay, it's very necessary. Please do so. So we can now change the color, font. We can change the font. Just like, you know, if you type document in your Word, you have Times New Roman, right? I always like to use Times New Roman, but some people might like to use Arial, right? Different font. Here, they also provide different font and font size here, okay? You can choose, which you, at this point, don't have to know, okay? Because we don't use that. We don't use that on a simple one because that is just give you idea. And the text, what is text? whatever appears here. So if you want, you can change as a calculator right here. Calculator. So if I do that, automatically here it becomes change. So whatever you want to show on the top, that is text. Okay. So you can modify the properties to make your user interface the way you want. Okay. You can all of them you can modify. You can modify all the properties here. Okay. So I change the text right here. So instead of form 1, it appears as calculator. Okay. So now my form is ready. So what I will do next is I will add different tools. So if you have a chance to look at my simple calculator PDF file, you will know we have like a number 1, number 2, number 3, which is like answers, right? Let's do that. So right now, what I have done is I right click my mouse on this one to rename as calculator.vb instead of form1.vb. And also I go to the properties, and I change the, I have to select the form first. Okay, select this. I go to the text part and change it to the calculator. So instead of form 1, it shows as calculator. Okay, so we have this two part. Done. Now, I'll give you minutes. I'll wait for you 1 or 2 minutes. Let's just then we're gonna add 3 labels, 3 text box, and maybe 2 or 3, 1 or 2 buttons. Okay, because it's already 12:16. So I'll just show you how to do the addition, and you can do the subtraction, multiplication, division later on your own time. Okay. Also, if you have any question regarding to this class, you can always email me. Okay, always email me. Let me know which part you need help. Okay. Again, no matter you having Windows or Visual Studio 2019 or 2017, it's the same. Don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry about whether you have maybe Visual Studio 2017 or 2019. It will be the same. Okay. Okay, are you ready? Now let's start. Now, right here on the left side, we have 2 boxes. Now, inside of our 2 boxes, we have different tools, right? So we use those tools to create our calculator. So the easiest one you can see, I'm going to use the label box. Sorry, labels. Label. I'm just going to see here, find label right here. From my 2 box, I drag it right here. So this label 1, I drag another one. So I have label 2. I have label 3. Now I'm going to have 3 text box. After I find 3 labels, okay, I will wait you a minute. Okay. After I drag 3 labels, I'm going to find 3 text box. Oh, your cat have a visit. Okay. So you find a text box. You know, all these 2 boxes, they are in alphabetic order. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the T will be behind here, text box. So text box allow you to input text. So I drag 1 corresponding to label 1, another one corresponding to label 2, and another one corresponding label 3. And also, I need to have some buttons. In the end, you should have how many buttons? You should have 5 buttons. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, and exit. Fine. And we probably should add a clear button. All right. So we should have 6. You should have 6 buttons. Now, because we only have 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna add just 1 button. Go back to top in the alphabetic order. So button right here. So button normally do like if you click the button, some event will happen. So it's called event driven. you click this icon, this button, then you do some action. Okay, they will have some action associated with it. Okay. Now we have this one, but as of course you can see, it doesn't look so good, right? So we're gonna have to modify this. So you have label 1. Let's click label 1. Now, if you click, I'm gonna minimize the window here. So if you click label 1 on the right bottom window, the property window, this tell you, okay, this name is label 1, but the text, now I can change. I can change to number 1. So you can see, you change text number 1. Now, if you want to make it fancier, you can even change the size and font by going up. They have a font right here. If you want to make it fancier, you can make the size 11. See, you can make it fancier, but it's up to you because I don't think it's required for you to do that. Now, so this is number 1 here. Okay, if you want, you can even, for the text box, you can make it bigger and smaller. Okay, associated with it. Okay, adjust a little bit. So this number 1. Okay, so I'm going to repeat doing this action. So you see, let's do the label 2. You click the label 2, then on the, what do you say, right bottom window, the property window, it is all the properties associated with label 2. Again, you can change the name. Sorry, whatever you want to display, that is the text part. I'm going to type, instead of by default, it's label 2, I type number 2 or whatever you want. Okay, become number 2. So, but because I changed the font of the first one, I can change the font of the second one. I make it bigger also. Go to the font, I can change the size. I think I make it 11, right? Change the number 11. And I can also modify my text box to make it bigger, look like same. Okay. Okay. So later on, I think there's like a format button to help you align those. Okay. So in the future, you can use this button under the format to kind of adjust the location. Okay, the location of this text box. Okay. Any question so far? Can you follow me? So everything you see on this form, you can modify through this text property. Okay, through the text property on the right bottom part of the window. Now you have number 1, number 2. Okay, then you have, let's click label 3. So if you click label 3, so those properties on the bottom right is associated with label 3. And again, so I go to the text part. So this one I want to make as the solution or answer, right? So answer. And I want to make it bigger. So I can make it size, instead of 7.8, I make it 11 again. And of course, if you want to have a different font style, you can change the big font, different font style. If you want something different, you can always change. Okay, like this. See, the font is different. You probably cannot see, but it's different. But you can, so you can, click the font on this part. It will pop up the window. I'm not sure you can see that or not. Let me check. Okay, so you have a font style. I can make it bold if I want. Size 11. Okay, so this is answer. Okay, I want to emphasize this is answer. So I bold it. Okay, so you have, this is the label. I can make it bigger. Okay, so in the future, you can kind of align, or you can modify the location based on the format part. Okay, make it the same size if you want. Okay, choose those and make it the same size. Okay, so this is one of this. So you have 3, what do you say? 3 labels, 3 text box ready. And then we have 1 button here. If you want, you can have more buttons. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. right? I can have change all of it. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, clear, and exit. So I will do the bottom one. Maybe I should make it bigger. Okay. So for button one, I click button one. You know, if you single click on your button one, then it will display the properties associated with button one on the right bottom corner, right here, right? You see that right here. So any words you see on the screen will be adjusted by what? Text. So instead of bottom one, I can do add. So it will give you add. Okay, so if I want to make it fancier, I go to font and make it bold. I make it 9 or 10 or whatever I want. Click OK. So this add, but it's so big, so I have to drag it down. Any question? Any question, guys? Who has this image? Okay, nice. So any question, guys? So you see, you click the button, and on the right part, so on the right bottom small window, it's called a property window, will allow you to modify or you see format your button. But even though my text is changed as add instead of button one, but the name of this one, the name of this icon is still called button one. Okay, so which means later on, if you want to, you know, modify something or do something, okay, you know, program is this deep inside is still called button one. Okay, you can do the same thing. Okay, in the button two, click button two, then your text should be subtract. Right, subtract. Okay, then after you change subtract, you change the font. Now what? Bold 11 or 10? I just couldn't remember. You know, use the same format. You have this one, subtract is 2. Okay. And also, if you want, you can even make it fancier. Change it in font full color. Like this. Okay. Probably not a good idea. Let's change back. Okay. You know, this is, you can just, you know, make it fancier by just modify the properties right here. Okay, so there's so many things here, but whatever, if you want to program, the name will still be button 2. Okay, unless you modify this. If in the future you can change the name, but for this simple program, you don't have to do anything. Okay, so right now it's still called button 2, but you know, this also can be changed. So you have add, you have subtract, and you can do multiply. So I click button 3. Here it tells you this property is button 3. Button 3 is what? Multiply. Multiply, and I have font. I'm going to change it to size 10 and bold. Like this, multiply, and you can make it bigger. Okay, let me do this one, then we can do the coding. Okay, otherwise we probably don't have time. We have 10 more minutes. So button 4, I click button 4. The taskbar, I will change to divide. Right, and I can modify a little bit of my font. And make it bold and make it 10. Or divide. Okay. So I think like in the format part, it will ask you to make the same size. So control, click this. You can, if you hold the control key, you can select all of them together. Then you do the format, make it the same size, both same size. And you can even go to align like this. I can horizontal space, make them equal something. No, so it is very common to do the formatting on multiple buttons. Okay, just like when you learn Excel or Word, first thing you do, you click the first object, then you hold the Control key. You hold Control key, then select the rest of it. By holding Control key, you make them as a one whole group, so they can do one action together at the same time. Okay, let me show you one more time again. So you click Add, then you on your left hand, use your left hand, hold Control key, then you use your right hand for select subtract. Did I misspell this? Subtract, multiply, divide. So you then release Control key. Then you have all this one selected. Then you can click Format. Then you do the align, make same size, horizontal space, vertical space. You can center form, whatever. You can do all of them. Okay. Did I? Now you click and you can click anywhere to deselect those group. Okay. Did I misspell that? Subtract. I think that's not enough space. Okay. I think doesn't have enough space for this. Okay. So I probably should have made them. I hold this one. Hold Control key. Okay, I want this space, so have format, make the same size, both. Okay. Now, okay, I am going to leave the bottom 5 and the bottom 6 to you guys because we don't have time now. I only have 9 minutes left. Now, so the user interface is almost done. You only have to finish bottom and bottom 5 and 6. Bottom 5, you make it clear. Bottom 6, you make it exit. Okay. Then how do I coding? How do I do the code? I double click. See, instead of single click, I double click. You see what happened? Okay, you know what? I should have double click on this, but add. So I double click on this add part. Okay, I double click on this add button. Double click. So what happened? I will have this button 1 click. That means if I click the button 1, the button 1 is associated with addition. So what will happen? What will happen? I want to do the addition. Okay. So normally this is called subprogram. I see, you can see private sub. Sub means subprogram as function. Okay. We borrow this idea from math. Okay. In this program, we can have separate blocks. Okay. Now each block do separate task. So this block I will do addition. This block I do subtraction. This block I do division. And the other block is I clear up everything. And the other block is close the window. Now we call them we call each block which do the certain job as a sub. Okay, which calls sub program or function or method. Okay, just as a block of code which do a certain job. So in this block of code, what I will do is just I want to add, the result is the event is I want to add number 1 on the text box and number 2 on the text box, and I want to display the result on the answer. Okay, on the answer. That is what I want to do. Okay. Now there are 2 ways to do addition. Why there are 2 ways? Because if you simply add, type your data inside of your chat box, by default, it's not if you do not define the type, by default is a string. Okay, if I type 1 here, 2 here, and I just click it, I just add them together. Now instead of 3, I will get 1, 2 because it's called a string combination. So regular plus is string combination. Now in order to make 1 plus 2 equal to 3, I can do 2 different ways. So the first way is, you see here, I want my result right here. So this is one, this is a result box, right? This result box, if you look at on the window, on the right bottom corner, you see this result box's name is text box 3. So on this text box 3, I do have a text window here. Whatever I want to display here, what you want to display on the text, there's 2 plus together, right? There's 2 values to plus together. So I can do text. As you can see, if I type text in the Visual Studio, it will kind of like give you a hint. So what all the words with text I have here. So I want to choose text box 3. On text box 3 dot text. Now we're equal to text box. Okay, so 1 dot text plus text box 2 dot text. Okay, you do that. But you know, like I said, because everything you type, they will be string. Okay, so if you do that a single addition, and if you run your code, you won't have the right answer. So you can see, I'm going to show you. Okay, so you have that. If you code it, okay, you design the user interface, we try to code it. So the next part is you want to see whether it works or not, right? You want to see whether this code work or not. So you can simply click the start right here. Click start. You click start, it will pop you this window. Okay, halfway down window. I don't know. Can you see my screen? Okay, can you see that? Okay, so you see here, I type 1 here, type 2 here, I type add. So it give you 1, 2. Why? Because they are strings. So in order to do that, okay, in order to make it the regular one, you have 2 ways to do. The first way is instead of plus, you have a plus plus. Make sure it tells you, okay, that is what do you say? Regular number plus. Okay, if you have another plus here and you run the code, can you see my screen? Okay, so if you type 1 here, type 2 here, then you add, it will give you 3. Okay, that is one way. Okay, by using plus plus. Okay, that is the easy way. Another way is we can use a function in Visual Basic to force the the string become number by doing this. VAR, val, which is a value, make it change to the value. But it's, if you don't have to know now, because later on you're going to learn this. Okay, to force the string you type from the keyboard to become a value numbers. So if you make it like that, you run the code, and you will have 1 here, 2 here, sorry, 1 here, 2 here, then you add, it give you 3. So basically for addition, you have 2 ways to do that based on whatever you want. Okay, so this is addition. Okay, now since we have 3 more minutes, so we can do subtraction. Let's do subtraction. So we have subtraction. Let's do the subtraction. Okay, now in order to do the subtraction code, again, back to the interface. I know you're tired. Me too. So let's do the last one, subtract. So double click subtract button. Okay, double click subtract button. As you can see here, it shows you button 2 standard. So what we can do is we can highlight Control-C and then Control-V and make it this. Okay, you can do that, but you know what? You're gonna have to make it minus. Now for the subtraction, you don't need to have value. Without the value, you work. Without the value, this one it still work because this addition is only like a overload, a dual operation. So plus in the string means combine 2 string together. The plus sign in the addition called simple addition. So the plus sign is very special. We sometimes call this as operation overload. Okay, not only in VB but also in Java, in Python, in C++. This plus is very important because we can use this plus to do 2 things: combine 2 string together or add 2 numbers together. For the minus, subtract, minus or multiply or divide, we don't have that. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. So if I do this, if we have value, let's run this code. Can you see my screen? Let me check. Yes, you can see my screen. So I'm going to type 2, 1, subtract. It give me 1. See, no problem, right? Now, even if I take off the value here, okay? Even if I take out this value part, it still work, okay? Because subtraction is not an overload operation. So if I run this code again, it will still work, okay? But I strongly suggest you to use a value to kind of force change from string to subtract like that, okay? Any question? Any question, guys? See how easy it is? So we finish subtract. Now we're gonna do there's no time, it's already run out of time. But I'll show you how quickly you can do that. So if I want to do the multiply, I double click this. If I do not write code for this button, then no matter what I do, if I click this button, nothing will happen. Okay, only if I do the coding, then I click this button, it will have something calculate. Okay, that is called event driven. Okay, if I do not, for example, if I run the code right now, because I have not write code for my multiply. So even I type 3 here, 4 here, I click multiply, nothing happened. Why? Because I have not coded yet. Only after I code for this button, then something can happen, event driven. Okay, so in order to have multiply running, you double click. Okay, so you can see here, button, click 3, and you know what? I just copy. I'm just going to copy this one and change to multiply. Okay, see how easy it is? And you click start button. See, 3, 4, multiply, become 12. Okay, so you can finish the rest of it on your own time. That's super easy. Don't worry about anything. That is the end of this class. So I hope you will learn something. So next Tuesday, when we come here, we are ready for lattice selections, chapter 2. So by Tuesday, you should have a textbook and you should have your Visual Studio ready. Okay. Again, if you use Mac, you're gonna have to install Windows system on your Mac. Then you can install the Visual Studio. Also, you can have Visual Studio 2017, 2019, doesn't matter. Okay, no matter what, I can see that. Okay, and keep in mind, where do you save your project? Because you're gonna have to zip the whole folder and send to me. Okay, so that's the thing we learned today. Any questions, guys? Any question?
The only thing due this week is the quiz and the sample project, right?
Quiz. The only thing due to this week is the quiz. And for sample project due next Saturday.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Please do the quiz. You can do multiple times. Okay, you can do unlimited times for the quiz. Okay, guys. So I will see you next week, next Monday. Oh, I forgot. It's not Tuesday. Okay, next Monday we start chapter 2. I always thought that Tuesday was Thursday. It's not Tuesday, Thursday. Today is only Wednesday. So I will see you guys on next Monday.
Have a good one.
You too,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.